Audi's A4 used to be the little guy of the premium Germans, but it's all grown up now with a meaner face and a bad boy under the hood. We've got the 3.2 V6. Let's also check the tech. Now our A4 is loaded up, as you can imagine. We've got the navigation, but today the map quality is a little jaggy looking compared to competitors. The fonts are kind of tortured. Plus, as of this point, late 2008, I'm here to officially announce I'm sick and tired of their information layout. Here's the classic Audi system. The stuff you want down the middle, you rotate the main knob to go through the items, and then click to select one. I get that. But I'm over these buttons in the corners. Those correspond to these 4 buttons around the controller. There are better ways to lay out information to correspond to buttons. This is not top of the stack anymore. Let's get on to entertainment options. Now, as you can see, we have Sirius Radio, and of course we also have AM and FM. And if you notice the brand on our speakers on the dash, we've got the B&O audio package on here. Now, audio is very subjective, but there are 3 things I always look for in modern car systems. 1, can it deliver a lot of bass that is controlled and not tubby? Number 2, do the tone controls not let you go nuts with bad sound on either the bass or the treble end? And number 3, can it make satellite radio sound good? Because sat radio is a brutally compressed digital stream and often sounds worse than an MP3 library. This one holds it together pretty well. And that same package that has B&O audio also includes the Audi Music interface, and that means I can use these cables into a master dock in the glove box to connect to what I have. Let's see what we have here. There's a female USB. Here's our standard aux jack. Here's a male mini USB. And there's our dedicated iPod connector. Now check out this bit of tech right here. This is called Audi Drive Select. Auto is your standard position. Dynamic is their word for sportier. You go again to individual, and one more time to comfort. So comfort, standard, dynamic, or sporty are obvious, but individual is really interesting. Check that out. I can set how the engine and transmission work. I can say I want my steering to be sporty, but maybe I want the suspension at the same time to be comfortable. That is now saved as my individual setting. The A4's 3.2 V6 is, in a word, ample. It reminds you that even in today's era of high-tech engines, there's no replacement for displacement. Horsepower is 265 with 243 foot-pounds of torque, and 0 to 60 happens in about 6.3 seconds. What you can't put into numbers is how smoothly and confidently the engine gets that done. Even more impressive when you realize the A4 is over 3,800 pounds, has 6 inches more wheelbase and 2 inches more width than the old A4, but at the same time is almost a second quicker. The Audi Drive Select really does sharpen or soften the car's ride and instincts. Power flows through a 6-speed Tiptronic that in and of itself is very smooth. But I found everyday driving in this car could be kind of lumpy. You'll often catch the car clinging to way too tall a gear when you need to scoot. And when decelerating to a stop, the transmission seemed to bump in and out of gears as it downshifted, making routine stops kind of a head bob. Okay, let's price our not-so-small and not-so-cheap Audi A4. Because we've got the V6, it's a $40,000 car base, $3,300 for B&O media rig, another $2,500 for nav, and $2,950 for this slick Audi Drive Select. You're pushing 50 grand pretty easily, but it's a very different A4.